Welcome to Pearls for Parkinson's. Here is this week's daily living tip. Welcome back to Pearls for Parkinson's. Today we're diving into a topic that affects many people with Parkinson's, cramping and dystonia. Muscle cramps and painful twisting postures may sound like a minor nuance, but for many, they can be one of the most frustrating and even debilitating symptoms for Parkinson's. So let's break it down. What causes it? What can help? And how do you cope with this cramping? Let's start out with the basics. So dystonia is part of Parkinson's, and it can show up as painful toe curling, foot cramping, or even neck twisting. And usually it's on one side of the body, but it could be on both. These spasms can last from seconds to minutes and can be very unpredictable and often worsen early in the morning or during off times when medication isn't working well. So what's going on in the body? Let's talk about that. Dystonia in Parkinson's is linked to dopamine fluctuations. So when the levels are peaking and troughing in the system, and especially when the levels are low. Dopamine in the brain is a chemical that helps to coordinate that smooth and balanced muscle movement. And when it dips, the muscles can misfire, leading to painful spasms. And so other contributors can be that wearing off, like I mentioned, between doses. Also, individuals who have young onset Parkinson's, the dystonia can be more common in those people diagnosed before age 50. And sometimes it can even be a side effect of levodopa therapy, especially when it peaks in the bloodstream. So the good news, there are treatments that can help, both medical as well as non-medical. So sometimes it's just a matter of adjusting the timing or the dosage of your Parkinson's medications to reduce that dystonia. And that might mean taking levodopa earlier in the morning, or adding a longer acting medication to keep the steady blood level of the medication, or using a medication like amantadine or baclofen to help to relax the muscles. But that's something you need to talk to your physician about. Whoever is treating you, make sure you don't make these adjustments on your own. But those are just some of the things that you might find that are alterations in your treatment plan. Another consideration is Botox injections. It's not just used for cosmetic purposes. It can also treat dystonia, and it works by blocking signals from the nerves to the muscles and helping to stop those unwanted spasms. It really depends on the severity of the dystonia or the cramping. Another treatment can be deep brain stimulation, and that's a surgical procedure, and it's usually done, especially if it's a more severe dystonia, but it can significantly reduce the symptoms. It's not for everybody, but when appropriate, it can be really life-changing. So what are some of the practical tips for managing dystonia? While the medical treatments are key, self-care strategies can make a big difference too. So consideration is stretching and physical therapy, especially in the morning or when a cramp is coming on. You want to get up and make sure you're doing some gentle stretching. A physical therapist trained in Parkinson's can help guide you through these exercises to loosen up muscles and improve your posture as well. Another consideration is your level of hydration. We all know you get more muscle cramps when you're more dehydrated or you have an electrolyte imbalance. So make sure you're staying well hydrated. And some people find relief by adding magnesium-rich foods or supplements, but you always want to check with your healthcare provider first before adding any of these to your regimen. Another consideration is warm baths or heating pads, because applying the warmth to that cramped area can really help soothe those muscles and increase blood flow. You can use adaptive footwear, especially if you're having problems with toe curling or a foot dystonia. It helps to improve your walking, and sometimes wider shoes or toe separators are an idea. A podiatrist or an occupational therapist can help you with the options that really help to support that mobility. Cramping and dystonia may be a part of Parkinson's, but they don't have to take over your day. So with the right treatments and a proactive care team and some practical adjustments, you can reduce their impact and keep moving forward. So make sure you're talking to your team and your movement disorder specialist. Thank you for tuning in to Pearls for Parkinson's. Be sure to subscribe and share this episode with a friend, and join us next week for more Pearls for Parkinson's. The Wisconsin Parkinson Association is a grassroots organization funded by people like you. To support more local programming like this, visit wiparkinson.org.